The ability to qualify for, receive, and act on personal revelation is the single most important skill that can be acquired in this life.
Revelation is communication from God to His children here upon the earth. Sometimes those messages come quickly and rather dramatically. I've compared that to a light being turned on in a dark room, where very suddenly the darkness is expelled and you can see everything in the room quite clearly and brilliantly. I would suggest that that pattern of receiving messages from God is more rare than common. A second pattern is when the light comes gradually, much like the rising of the sun. You can discern the increase of light on the horizon, but never all at once. This pattern of revelation, I would suggest, is more common than rare. Sometimes, receiving inspiration is like a foggy day. There's enough light that you can tell it's not darkness anymore, it's not night. But it's not brilliantly illuminated. You can see just enough to take a few steps ahead into the cloudiness. I don't know about other people, but it occurs that way for me all the time. There's enough to just take a few steps, and then the light continues to help me see just far enough ahead that I can continue to press forward. As we follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, He is the light. One of His names is the light. As we follow His example and live according to His teachings, there is illumination for all the aspects of our life. To the degree that we reject Him and reject His teachings or on our own, I'd much prefer to follow His light. I know when there is a power beyond my own that comes from God to me and through me, which is the Spirit of revelation. The ordinance of confirming a new member of the church and bestowing the gift of the Holy Ghost is both simple and profound. The individual is confirmed a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and this important phrase is uttered: receive the Holy Ghost. Now, brothers and sisters, the simplicity of this ordinance may cause us to overlook its significance. These 4 words, receive the Holy Ghost, are not a passive pronouncement. Rather, they constitute a priesthood injunction, an authoritative admonition to act and not simply to be acted upon. The Holy Ghost does not become operative in our lives merely because hands are placed upon our heads and these 4 important words are spoken. As we receive this ordinance, each of us accepts a sacred and ongoing responsibility to desire, to seek, to work, and to live that we indeed receive the Holy Ghost and its attendant spiritual gifts. Receiving the Holy Ghost starts with our sincere and constant desire for His companionship in our lives. We more readily receive and recognize the Spirit of the Lord as we appropriately invite Him into our lives. We cannot compel, coerce, or command the Holy Ghost. Rather, we should invite Him into our lives with the same gentleness and tenderness by which He entreats us. Our invitations for the companionship of the Holy Ghost occur in many ways: through the making and keeping of covenants, by praying sincerely as individuals and families, by searching the Scriptures diligently, through strengthening appropriate relationships with family members and friends, by seeking after virtuous thoughts, actions, and language, and by worshiping in our homes, in the Holy Temple, and at church. Conversely, casualness about or the breaking of covenants and commitments, failing to pray and study the Scriptures, and inappropriate thoughts, actions, and language cause the Spirit to withdraw from or to avoid us altogether. Reflect on the reasons we worship in the house of the Lord and in our Sabbath meetings. Yes, we serve our kindred dead in the temple and our families and friends in the wards and branches in which we live. And yes, we enjoy the righteous sociality we find among our brothers and sisters. But we primarily gather together in unity to seek the blessings of and instruction from the Holy Ghost.
A testimony of the gospel of Jesus Christ, a witness that the Book of Mormon is true, comes in a delicate, refined spiritual communication. It is described in the Scriptures as light, as burning in the bosom. It is best described as a feeling. Ordinarily, a testimony comes when we seek with a sincere heart and real intent. If thou shalt ask, thou shalt receive revelation upon revelation, knowledge upon knowledge, that thou mayest know the mysteries and the peaceable things, that which bringeth joy, that which bringeth life eternal. When we meet to learn the doctrines of the gospel, it should be in a spirit of reverence. It is about reverence and how it relates to revelation that I wish to speak. Inspiration comes more easily in peaceful settings. Such words as quiet, still, peaceable, comforter abound in the Scriptures. Be still and know that I am God. And the promise, you shall receive my Spirit, the Holy Ghost, even the Comforter, which shall teach you the peaceable things of the kingdom. For the past several years, we have watched the patterns of reverence and irreverence in the church. While many are to be highly commended, we are drifting. We have reason to be deeply concerned. Leaders sometimes wonder why so many active members get themselves into such predicaments in life. Could it be that they do not feel what they need to feel because our meetings are less than they might be spiritually? Irreverent conduct in our chapels is worthy of a reminder, if not reproof. Leaders should teach that reverence invites revelation. The reverence we speak of does not equate with absolute silence. We must be tolerant of little babies, even an occasional outburst from a toddler being ushered out to keep him from disturbing the peace. Unless the father's on the stand, he should do the ushering. Music is of enormous importance in our worship services. I believe that those who choose, conduct, present, and accompany the music may influence the spirit of reverence in our meetings more than the speaker does. God bless them. Music can set an atmosphere of worship which invites that spirit of revelation, of testimony.